Hey everybody, thanks for joining me back on my channel today. We are going to work on a project pattern that I just completed over the weekend that I'm very happy with, and it is called Mama's Popcorn Scrubby. I made this for my personal use, so I decided to put this up as a free pattern, and it does have a completed handle with it. You can use it for your face, you can use it for taking a shower, you can also use it for your dishes, cleaning, whatever, and it is totally washable because it's 100% cotton. So, and it is adjustable. If you want to make it bigger, you can do that. You want to make your handle smaller, you want to make it bigger to fit your hand, you can adjust the size if you want to do that. That's totally up to you. But this is it's a very nice textured scrubby, so it's not a flat one, so it will clean very well. So all you're going to need is two different types of colors going here, and for this one I'm going to use the Burnett Handicraft Cotton, which is what I used here for both colors, and I'm going to be using an olive green for the actual color, which is the popcorns, and then I've got a little bit here of Lily Sugar and Cream because I wanted this color for the border. So those are going to be my two colors, and if you want to make it all one color, by all means go for it. And you can change the size of this by changing your hook as well. I'm going to stick with the I9, the 5.5 millimeter, which is what I designed this one with as well. So grab what you need to start this. You can also find this pattern for a free download on my Craftsy shop, and I will leave the link underneath the video down below this video. I will leave it in the description box, so you should be able to see that down below right here. So we will get going on this pattern, and I'm sure you will love it. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is start with whatever color you want. So my A color is going to be my olive green. So we are going to start from the center out. So you want to chain up 4 here. So 2, 3, 4. And we are going to join to the first chain, and we are going to make our center ring. So what you want to do now, chain up 3 and work in a popcorn stitch. You will have that in your special stitches note. Work in a popcorn stitch, you will have a total of 5 double crochet here that will make up your popcorn stitches. So in the very beginning one, that chain 3 will act as your first double. So what we're going to do is we're going to work another 4 double crochet here in a row. So let's get a total of 5 going here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's do one more. Okay, so you should have 5, including that chain 3 at the beginning. So now you want to pull that loop up and drop that loop. You want to go back into the top of that chain 3 that you started with. Insert your hook into the top of that. Also, go pick that loop back up you dropped, tighten that, and pull that loop through the first loop. And you have your first popcorn stitch. Chain up 1 to close that stitch. And then what you want to do is chain an additional 1, which is your chain 2 as indicated in the pattern. And now what you want to do is you want to work a total of 6 of these. So you're going to do this 5 more times. So I'll do one more with you. So now you'll go into the center ring and do 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So remember, you want to pull that loop up, And then you're going to go back over here to this beginning double crochet, insert your hook into the top of that stitch, go back into the drop loop, tighten that, and pull through. And now you basically want to chain 2. Okay, so that is your second popcorn. And now you're going to just work this around until you have a total of 6 popcorns. Okay, so do the same procedure. Do not forget to chain your 2 in between, and I will meet you up once I have all 6 completed. Alright, so I have gone around. I have made my 6 popcorn petals, and you may have to space these out a bit. So now once you get to that last one, make sure you chain your 2, and you want to join into the top of that chain 3. Okay, so now what you want to do for the next row is you want to slip over. So you'll slip into the top of the popcorn stitch there, and then you'll slip over into the next chain 2 space. So now we're going to start doing some increasing. So you want to do your chain 3, and that again is going to represent our first double crochet here. And what we're going to do is put in 4 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So there's 3, 4, 5. So again, same thing, drop that loop, go into the top of that chain 3, insert your hook, grab the dropped loop, pull it through, chain 2. Okay, so now what you're going to do is we're increasing in each chain 2 space. So where we put 1 popcorn around, you're going to put 2 in each chain 2 space. So going back into that same chain 2 space, you want to make yourself another popcorn stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Drop that loop, come back over to that beginning double crochet and insert and grab that loop. And by now we should all know how to do those popcorns. Alright, now chain up 2, and then you want to go directly into that next chain 2 space for your first popcorn. So in every chain 2 space you'll do a popcorn, chain 2, and another popcorn. And you'll work that around until you have a total of 12 popcorns on this round. So there's 4 double crochet and 5. Drop this loop, go back in the beginning of the double and pull that through, chain 2. And put your second one in the same stitch or same space and continue making this second popcorn. Okay, chain 2. Alright, so just continue working this around. Go into the next chain 2 space and work up your popcorn, chain 2, and another popcorn. And you work that around, and I'll meet you back up at the beginning of this round. Alright, so now we have our 12 popcorns, and we need to do our chain 2 here, and you're going to join in the top of that chain 3. Now before we change color, you want to go ahead and do your slip stitching. So slip into the top of that popcorn and then slip into the next chain 2 space. Put your hook in there, fasten off, and go ahead and if you're changing color, put your next color on your hook and pull that through and through. And I'm going to tie mine on as I always do so we have no slipping. Okay, so I'll pull out some of that yarn, and now I'll be working over some of these tails as I go. To make the not the handle, but the border, what we're just going to do here is we're going to chain up 2, and that's going to be our first half double crochet. So what you're going to do now is you're going to half double crochet 2 more times in this same space. So 1 and 2. Then you'll jump to the next space and you'll put in 3 half double crochet, because that chain 2 was our first half double crochet. So now you will be putting 3 half double crochet in each chain 2 space. And I didn't like that last one there, so let's pull that out and do that again. So now this is just pretty much our border, and because we're not chaining anything in between our half double crochets, it's going to make it fold over a bit, like in this one where it's got a cup round to it. That's what this is going to do for us. So now we're just going to go all the way around, and in each chain 2 space we're just going to put 3 doubles. That's very simple. And then once you get all the way around, you will join to the top of that beginning chain 2, and you will not finish off. We will then start working on the handle. So I will meet you back up at the join, and then we will start the handle. Okay, so now you see now how you have a little bit of a bowl or a cup form, and that is perfect because when you want to put your hand in here, that's how you want it to be. And then whenever you use the popcorns to scrub like your face or your body like a scrubby, or pots, pans, however you tend to use this, these will be sticking up. That way you have a point of contact. And if you do plan on using these in the kitchen and in the bath, I would recommend you make them for different purposes. You make a couple for the bath, make a couple for the kitchen. I would not cross use those. Alright, so basically now for the handle, and here you can make it as long as you need to fit your hand. I know we all have different size hands, and mine are relatively small, so I made this one to match my hand. So I chained 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now what I did for the next row, you're just going to single crochet in the second from the hook, and in the remaining 9 stitches. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now in the instructions it will tell you to slip stitch into the space on the row, and what I'm telling you to do is to slip stitch in between the next space on this row, which is between these next 2 posts. So just slip stitch in that space, and now you're going to turn, chain up 1, and start your single crochet for the next row in the next stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, and turn, chain up 1 and single crochet in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that last one's always hard to get into, 9. And you're going to go right back into that same space for a slip stitch. Okay, now you're going to turn and go one more time. So chain up that 1 and single crochet in that next space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now what you're going to do is I'm going to drop my hook, my loop right here. I think I ended up with one too many stitches, so I'm just going to join that one and this one. Pull those together. If you ended up with too many stitches there, you can do the same thing. So drop this loop, and then in the instructions it's going to tell you what we're going to do is join to the other side just like we did here. So you're just going to line that up. Just line it up best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just insert in between one of the, you have your 3 half double crochets, go in between the 2 last double crochets in one of these sets over here. Put the hoop that you just dropped back on your hook and pull that through. Alright, so then you're going to just chain up 1, and I'm not sure if I put the chain 1 on there or not. Go back into the same space between those double crochet, and then go back into that next stitch on your handle, because you have 3 total. You already had 1, now you're in the second one. Grab your yarn, pull through and through. That's your slip stitch. Tighten that up. Now you're going to just go through that next, go through your same loop or your same space here. Go through the next stitch on your handle, grab your hook, or your, sorry, not your hook, your yarn, pull through and through again. And that's all you have to do. And then you're going to finish that off because you wanted them to stay in the same space like we did the other side. I know it sounded difficult in the pattern, but it's really not. So that's why I wanted to actually demonstrate it. So then you just weave in your ends. And I need a smaller hook for that. Yarn, cotton's kind of hard to weave in ends sometimes. You want to weave it in pretty good, only because once you start using this, your ends will start to work their way out. So when you're using them, especially when you're washing with them, you want to make sure to get these ends woven in really far if you can do that. So you just keep weaving them in some of your tightest stitches. And you just cut all your ends off. And that's your Scrubby. And like I said, if you wanted to make your handle bigger or smaller, you can do it either way. But that's pretty much how mine fits me. Fits me perfect at 10. If your hand is bigger and you needed to go maybe 12 or you need to go 14, by all means do so. It's not going to change it. You just have to count and put a few extra stitches in there. Okay? And that's pretty much all there is to making Mama's popcorn Scrubby. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and hope you find these very useful in the kitchen and the bath, and I hope you enjoy these as much as I'm going to. And they make great Christmas gifts, might I add. Alright, till next video, happy hooking!